Hey, you are along for the ride with Mad Dog and Cole, the facilitator, Farrell.
Podcasts aren't even real.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Wait.
Man, shout out to our gentleman of extreme, Mr. Evil Knievel, flying through the air, living in the sunlight. Take the advice. Live life. Do what you want to do. Doesn't have to be fly through the air, but live in the sunlight and enjoy it as much as you can.
And you know why we're able to enjoy life as much as we can and fly motorcycles through the air? It's because our first responders and our brave men and women in the armed forces keep us safe, not only here, but travel across seas, fight the good fight, make it happen for us.
For sure. Definite shout out, props, and respect to all of our service people all around the country, all our veterans, and all of our first responders. Thank you. And of course, thank you to Kicker Performance Audio, such a great partner. Find them online at kicker.com or on Instagram at Kicker Audio, or even look them up on YouTube, Kicker Unmasked Live, every other Tuesday at 7:30 Central.
Full production.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. Been on there a couple times, thankfully, and or more, and it's always good. Always good. So, of course, Bomber Floating Eyewear, Bomber Safety Eyewear. Find them online at bombereyewear.com. They're the ANSI 87 OSHA approved floating sunglasses. That's bombereyewear.com or on Instagram at bombereyewear. Of course, our boy Cole at the Premix Podcast, sharing his passion for all things desert racing through the lens of the camera, and also available for your MC or announcer work, be it an off-road event or a wedding, or just a party. Maybe not a wedding, because I've heard him, and
Yeah, please not a wedding.
you might get more than you bargained for.
Well, there goes my whole fourth quarter of clients, but continue.
Sorry. And of course, where would we be without Kelsey Morel Film? Find her on Instagram at Kelsey Morel Film. Taking care of all of our production on YouTube and YouTube podcasts now for us. If you need shorts, you need production work, you need final production, pre-production, or actual film work done, hit her up on Instagram at Kelsey Morel Film. Man, I am so excited for this next group. Yes, sir, folks, group. I said it. Hang out for 1 second while Cole does his thing, and it's going to be exciting.
A lot of chaos, but let the chaos ensue.
Chaos is my zen.
And while you wait a whole 10 seconds for our amazing guest to come on, please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite streaming platforms. Helps us out, boosts the algorithm, and why not even share the episode with a friend? Because friends share episodes.
Heck yeah. On that, thank you so much, Crazy Watson, for the great review. Man, oh man. Talk about a heater. Got three of the most talented and most winning off-road racers, especially in the side-by-side class, but all overall in the world right now. The top three members of the Red Bull Off-Road Junior team, AJ Jones, Seth, Seth Quintero,
Hello.
and of course, Mitch Guthrie Jr.
Howdy.
Hey, I want to start this off, man. What a stacked field, I'm telling you. And I really, Cole and I talked about this, and we may just light the fuse and let you guys run. But I want to start this episode off um, with a very important thing, and that's congratulations, Mitchie, on your engagement.
Thank you.
That's pretty exciting. Um,
Yeah, very exciting. Thank you.
So she's a lucky girl. I think you're a lucky guy too, though. So
It goes both ways. I'm excited. Thank you
awesome.
very much.
For sure. So, all right, guys. So, man, AJ, we've got Seth's backstory and Mitch's backstory. So we're gonna have to get you back on for your backstory.
For
But
sure.
I have done a little bit of research. Um, and I had no idea. I mean, I knew you could wheel a race car, but I had no idea that you went to SDSU on a lacrosse scholarship.
Yeah. I wasn't really into racing for a long time, so just started doing this a
I
couple
didn't
years
even know
ago.
that.
Yeah. So
That-
it's weird
that's
how
pretty
things
cool.
work out.
Yeah, yeah. What I always say, the Lord works in mysterious ways, So,
Right.
man, I want to thank you guys. When we were hanging out in Jersey, everybody agreed to jump on together, and we've got some stats. Cole, do you have stats?
I do not have stats in front of me, so
That's what happens when you turn a producer into a co-host without him knowing.
I was not prepared. I come straight off work and started this podcast.
Yeah, no, it's all good. He has a real job, so we got to cut him some slack. Yeah, so okay. Most recent now, all three of you are running Rally Raid right now, and you guys are standing 1, 2, and 3 in the points, right?
Yep.
And so you not just, but pretty recently just did Sonora. And I think, Mitch, you won, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, good job. Congratulations for that too, by the way. I guess
Thank you very much.
that's a big thing. And of course, just did AJU and Seth just did Baja.
Yeah, we just ran the 500 together.
Yeah. Now, did you guys did you split driving, or were you have your own co-drivers?
Yeah, so we split driving. Seth did the first half, and then I did the second half, and we each had our own co-drivers. A dude named Andrew rode with me, and then Seth's dad actually rode with him, so that was pretty rad.
Oh, that's right. The Aaron Aaron.
Old Air Dog. Air Dog was in.
Yeah, that's rad. I remember now. It's like all the posts, seeing all the posts. Man, I've just hit my helmet too many times, I guess. So it took me a minute. So, but the real, I mean, going, you guys just hanging out with you guys was so rad in Jersey. And I know all three of you going to Solstice in Alaska this week?
I believe AJ and I are heading to Solstice. I'm not too sure what Mitch's situation is. I'd love to see him out there, but I think he's got husband duties to do. So we're not too sure if we'll see him there.
Yeah, I'm sitting that one out. I've decided it's time to build a new short course car to compete with these guys. So sit this one out, and I think the next one we all have is probably in Glamis in December. So I'm working on building a new car to have like specifically for the Red Bull Scrambles. So that'll be cool.
Nice.
Oh, that's rad. Is it gonna have skids on the front so you don't get hung up on Seth?
It's gonna have wings, so next time
On other
I just
drivers?
fly over him.
Red Bull does give you wings. And that being said, all three of these guys, Red Bull Offroad Junior team, and man, so I want to get more back to the Baja thing, but I really want to go back because this year was the first year that the three of you were all, in essence, on the same team, the Red Bull Offroad Junior team at Dakar. Is that right?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm about halfway. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little murky, but we got the Red Bull Off-Road Junior Team USA. So that's me, Seth, and AJ, and then I'm in a separate car from them. They're both in Can-Ams, and so there's a few different names, but us together on the United States side, we're called the Red Bull Off-Road Junior Team USA.
All right. I got to remember that. Cole, write that down and text it to me.
All right.
Otherwise,
USA is easy to remember, so that's
yes, good. USA. The great thing, I mean, I can't tell you how cool it was to see you guys. I think you were on Fish's podcast all together live at Dakar.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was rad just to see you guys also candid and relaxed, and because I know from talking to you guys how brutal it was, and AJ, like, I didn't get to get the backstory from you, but on the three of you all, in essence, kind of working together, being in the same camp, I believe, most of the time and whatnot. How was that? Like, you guys seem to get along pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. It really helps to go out there when you're around all those people from all those different places. It really helps, you kind of gravitate towards people that are, close to your age, as well as, from the same kind of area, especially the United States. I've been racing with these guys, against these guys for a couple of years now, and we were never really like fully on the same team. So this year it was nice to actually be able to hang out a little bit more like off of the track and stuff like that, after the days and the bivouac and stuff like that, to be able to hang out all together. So I think everything worked out really well, and, us three, we get along well. So it makes everything a lot more fun.
Yeah, that was my question. I was going to ask Seth if everybody got along.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we all get along. On and off track, I think all three of us kind of have the same mentality of like just kind of going about life. So it's nice to have two older brothers that I never asked for. I love them both dearly, but they definitely bully me at times. But I love them for it, and hopefully I get to race.
You deserve it, but that's okay.
You're not completely right, but yeah, I didn't ask for it.
No. So how was it like literally, because I haven't had the dynamic of all of you together, and really, like, when we were hanging out in Jersey, it was just chill, right? So how was it like every day, because it's such a grind? Like, I saw a lot of you guys high-fiving, and when everybody crossed, made it to the finish. Fair amount of that stuff on social media. How was all that? Is that like something you look forward to, like seeing your fellow Americans?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, us three together definitely have a pretty different dynamic than what you see inside the bivouac normally. You don't see a lot of really close friends, especially when we're all racing for a win, right? So it's hard for other people to try and be friends with their competitors, but I think it makes us all faster and stronger, because as much as I love these two dudes, I want nothing more than to beat them every single time I see them on the track, which, a lot of confidence, but it's always nice to come back at the end of the day and know you can give one of your buddies a high five for a fun day of driving and racing. But yeah, it's definitely pretty different than most, I would say.
Yeah. What about the rest of you? How did you see that?
Do you guys got me? My connection good? I lost you for a second.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I think we were talking about Dakar, and it's interesting for sure because everyone has different start times and everyone's day is always different. So sometimes, say if I have a bad day, I could be starting an hour after AJ and Seth at Dakar. So even though like I'm on a different team from them, but we're right across from each other, and it's crazy because throughout that 14-day rally, I actually don't end up seeing everyone that much because the days are so long. So you start at a different time. You get in the car, you're racing. You might see them at like a fuel stop or at the start, and then after that, you get back and it's already dark. You're tired. You got to get ready for the next day, and you eat some food and go to bed. So it's like you give a little wave and talk really quick. How was your day? But other than that, Dakar is super busy. There's not like a ton of time to hang out after, but it's cool when we have like the rest day, which is when you saw us on Fish's channel. And that's when we're able to kind of hang out and really catch up and spend some time together.
Yeah, and what's so interesting to me is in Dakar, it seems so rare to even see a fellow countryman. There's not a whole lot of Americans over there. And like Mitch said, like you're not seeing each other all day by any means, but just to have somebody like a friendly face, somebody who's on same team or somebody who's one pit over from you in the bivouac, that's got to be so nice to have somebody just to show you where the chow hall is or whatever. I mean, that's probably super underrated, I would think.
Yeah, and I mean,
go ahead, Mitch. No, go ahead, Mitch.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it was crazy, and AJ was in the same boat when Seth and I first started racing. We didn't know anyone, so I had Seth, my little brother, and we were kind of making our way through the bivouac, and we had no idea what was going on. We didn't know any of the rules. We didn't know how any of this stuff works. So now, I believe I'm not sure AJ, but Seth and I, it's our 4th season of this racing. So now it's cool. We show up to the bivouac and it's kind of like going to a best in the desert race where you actually know a lot of the people, how everything works. And we're definitely not completely pros yet, but definitely feel a bit more pro when we show up there and actually know what's going on.
AJ, you had something to throw in there too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, I agree with these guys. I mean, it's super nice. We don't. Again, it's brutal out there. So like the first couple of days aren't that bad, but then, dude, once you get to like day 6 through 15 or something like that, those days it starts to weigh on you a little bit. So it's definitely nice to to have some of your friends around. So it kind of brings you out of that super gnarly, like, going super hard all day, being out there and bad elements and stuff like that, and having long days. It helps to kind of unwind and chill out with your buddies afterwards. So I think that just like with how hard the race is and how many days it goes on for, it's really nice to be able to hang out with some people that they're going through the same thing as you, so at least you can talk about it and complain about it with somebody that did the same thing just that day, and B, someone that you like and that you're friends with, so that helps a lot.
Oh, you like me?
I was talking about Mitch, but yeah, I guess you.
So Mitchie, you're kind of from like inland a little bit. I know Seth's kind of out on the coast there, and AJ's in Arizona. How come during like the social media stuff that I'm seeing from Dakar when it's cold, Seth is the only one complaining because it's cold?
No, I just have the nobody else decides to complain. Everybody else wants to cry too. It sucks, but I just cried. I'm a sister, though.
So you're just being the most real, if anything. You're just showing the hard side of things.
Everybody else is trying to act all macho, and I'm like, no, my balls are small. It's cold out here. All right.
So
yeah, it's rough times out there for sure.
And really, you guys got like hammered with the conditions this year.
Yeah. This year was like the most rain and probably the coldest Dakar that I've ever done. And like, it trips a lot of people out because like when you think of Saudi Arabia, obviously you think of the desert, super hot, 120 degrees and stuff like that. But during January, it's winter there. So like we get up in those mountains and stuff and away from the coast, and it's freezing up there. And yeah, I mean, there was a couple of days where we were just getting hammered with rain, like on the liaisons and stuff like that. Um, and it's cold. Like I remember it was like some of the days when it was pouring rain and we're driving out to one of the stages. I mean, it's like 35 degrees. And it's in those open cars out there on the highway and stuff. We can only go like 60 miles per hour for the liaison. So it's like you do that for a couple hours, then you show up to to your stage. It's like before you even get in the dirt, you're already completely freezing. It's like, all right, well, this is going to be a super long day. But yeah, it's tough.
Well, let me just throw out there that unfortunately I am one of the few people without a windshield out there. So
Yeah.
it's these guys have it rough for sure. But it makes me laugh, even though it sucks, watching Seth and AJ pass me, and we're like going through like pouring rain, and Seth's got his headphones on. He's like waving at me, and I'm just sitting there literally like with 3 jackets on, gigantic snow gloves, just shivering. And he's like, all right, see you later.
Yeah, I remember a couple of times I like cruise by you. I've got like a cup of coffee and stuff, and I just look over at you and Kellen. You guys are so hammered, just like this. I'm like, oh.
So yeah, those rainy days, it makes it that much worse.
Somehow, when you said when we started talking about this, somehow I knew the windshield issue was going to come up.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for my chance to talk right when we started talking about cold.
I've been not cool. I feel for Mitch.
Yeah, we've all been through it for sure, but this year definitely for me was rough. I'm sure everyone in the States, everywhere saw the day where everyone was getting sucked up into that river. And luckily I was thankful enough. I think all of us got through it. And actually when I went by, I never saw a river. So it was like a flash flood that caught a bunch of cars. But they cut that stage short and we were just in pouring rain, and we had a super long liaison because the stage got cut short. So I remember I was rolling with Seth and it was just dumping out there. So then suddenly it's nighttime. You're still driving through the night trying to get back to the bivouac on these flooded roads and stuff, and it's some crazy nights out there for sure.
Yeah, I think Cole and I, when we basically highlighted all three of you on every I think every broadcast every day when we had a podcast update of Dakar every time. Just keeping up with our American crew, representing all of us back here, and there's a lot of it. I think I shot my mouth off, and Cole made me apologize to the FIM in France about some decision making that they have made with the bikes on those stages, and but I know you guys hauled ass most of the way through the night, didn't you? Wasn't it something crazy like 2 or 3 hours sleep after freezing all night?
There was one day.
Sometimes, definitely.
Hello.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
What?
Seth.
There was one day where the car stage so the night before we had all had a really rough day, right? It was raining the whole way back. It was raining there. The bivouac's flooded, and we get the day, and we're all expecting to wake up to a canceled stage following day because of how bad the rain was in the bivouac. And we woke up, and the bikes got canceled, and the cars didn't get canceled, and it was probably one of the most, which it makes sense. I mean, we can deal with a lot more crap than the bikes can, but that was probably the most frustrating day ever. For me, I was like, I'm going to watch these guys relax here while I'm going to go drive in the rain. But no, and then we had the one day where The bikes, the day that they chopped the stage short, the one we were just talking about, the bikes had gone first. Obviously, the first ones on the road, and it had flash flooded so hard that a lot of the bikes couldn't see, and a lot of them were hydroplaning and crashing. So there's definitely some gray areas when it comes between cars and bikes. Obviously, the bikes are way gnarlier, and they have to open and deal with it first. So yeah, it's kind of hard to try and complain about anything with the bike guys just because of how gnarly they are and how much they have to deal with compared to us.
Now, when you're in the heavy rains like that and it's freezing cold, does it make you miss San Felipe at 110 with the sun beating down, or is it all relative to the moment?
Honestly, I think the rain and the suffer is just part of the story at Dakar. Without that, Dakar would just kind of be another race. I mean, obviously, with it being 14 days long, it's definitely a little bit different, but you look back on it and kind of like pat yourself on the back, and you're a little bit more appreciative of the next time you do it, even if it is the same thing or worse or whatever it is. It's like Dakar builds you up so much mentally to go and race whatever you want. And honestly, I'm pretty thankful for the rough times we've had. I mean, all three of us have had some very, very rough times, whether it's, mechanical failures, driver errors, or weather, whatever it is. So, I mean, I think it's built us all as people and built us all as the characters we are today. So I think I'm pretty thankful for those hard times.
Yeah. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on that, AJ?
Yeah. Like, it's supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be the hardest off-road race in the world, So I think that all of those, obviously the organizers try to make the stages as hard as possible. The schedule makes it as hard as possible. Just the terrain in general, makes it as hard as possible. So, that's the point. So it's like, you can complain about it all you want, but at the same time, I mean, that's kind of the reason, like, you knew what you were signing up for. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you knew it was going to suck. So like, and exactly what Seth said, I mean, you get home, then like you wait a week afterwards, and then you're like, I did that. Like, like I'm pretty tough. Like, we went through that, and I think, yeah, I mean, built character. At the time, it's hard to see that, and it's hard to it's hard to kind of have the foresight to be like, what, this is gonna make me toughen me up a little bit and stuff like that. But then at the end, you look back and you're like, damn, I really did all that. Like, I dealt with this. Kind of makes everything else like seem not that bad, kind of no matter what, in any situation that you're in, like especially off-roading and racing and stuff like that, it makes it, like you've had worse. So it's really rewarding. But yeah, during the time, it's like, man, this is what I'm choosing to do, huh? Really?
No matter what, it still sucks, but you gotta love it.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Where are you at with that, Mitch?
Yeah, I'd say that race it's a roller coaster. I mean, this year was, I think, one of the longest ones, or for sure the longest one that we've had. So 14 days. And like, when you get there and you're doing the prologue and like you're lining up for stage one, it's like the most exciting thing ever. Like, you have like this huge race ahead of you. And like, for me personally, I just can't wait to get going. And then like AJ said earlier, as you get going, you get to like, it's surprising how quick it happens, but 5-6 days in and you're like, man, and you already start thinking, okay, only 7 or 8 more stages to go. Like, we're not even halfway there. And then, you get halfway there to stage 7 or 8 and you're like, you feel like you should have completed the whole rally already. It's like, it's insane how much stuff happens while you're out there. So yeah, you get halfway and it's like, we are only halfway there. That's crazy. So after rest day, yeah, it's all a blur for sure. You start getting tired, fatigued, and still a long day. So that's what makes it fun though. Like these guys were saying, it's a huge challenge. And when you start getting later into the race, it's like, who can outsmart the other people and, keep their bodies moving and, still drive smart. So it's definitely a game out there. And like you were saying earlier with the bikes, it's kind of the same thing. It's interesting to watch the top guys in the cars, the top bikes, and then even us, there's some strategy that goes into it on where you want to start, and stuff like that when you have like a big dune day. So just all of that together makes that rally just so interesting and so fun. You're learning every day. There's always new stuff, and even like they announced this next year, there's gonna be even more new stuff. So it'll be that much more interesting.
That's awesome. And on that note, I want to say I think that the T3 class this last year was every bit as exciting as the bike class as far as drama from day to day, and part of it I'm sure is selfish for me because I feel vested in you guys, but the other part is it was exciting, you know. Um, some of that others, some of the other classes that they televised weren't as exciting. I don't know. Am I wrong, Cole?
No, I don't think you're wrong. It's such a long race that sometimes there's such big gaps. I mean, sorry to call them out, but I mean, the quad class has pretty much been dominated for so many years by basically one or two guys that when you see one, Americans, two, Americans that you may or may not know, and then three that being all in the same class. I mean, how do you not get excited about that?
Right. And I'm on that note, as far as Dakar goes, and we're going to jump to some desert racing here in just a sec, but we should jump to Scramble too because it's Red Bull Scramble Series, which you're all Red Bull Offroad Junior Team USA. How was that? Got it.
That's good. It's good.
Nice. All right. So, but on that note for Dakar, I just want to make sure you guys were awake. On that note for Dakar, I want to say something to all three of you. Huge kudos, because I believe that in the last I don't know this for a fact, but I believe based on my knowledge that in the last 2 years or 3 years, you three have won more stages for the USA than anyone has won stages for any other country.
Whoa.
It's probably correct. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we're definitely padded with Seth's year that one time.
Yeah.
We definitely missed out on that stat.
Shout out to Seth for that one, dude.
Well,
Team America.
Yeah, that was I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty rad. And I was gonna go to that, but I wasn't quite sure how to get there without pissing everybody else off. But no, seriously, like last year, Mitchie, you or this year, 5, right? 5 stages.
Yeah.
And AJ 3 or 4?
This year I won one.
1?
Only one.
So,
But he won something else.
but
Yeah, it's the only thing I care about, so I'm happy about it.
he won the overall. And for those of you listening that don't know, go do your research, damn it. No, seriously, AJ is I think the first American to back in 2 classes of Dakar.
Yeah, the only American to ever won twice. So
yeah,
that's cool.
So, and the super rad thing is, you guys are super experienced, but all you guys are super young. Especially when it comes to Dakar, and you're punching all these other countries in the face really at your young ages. It's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. It's cool because it's been so dominated by all the other countries. There's been no Americans racing it. So now it's becoming more known, and there's more and more Americans. And then especially in the T3 class, I think all of us are confident that we could go win that race. So, we go out there and win a bunch of stages, and it's just awesome to show all the Euros what's up, and show them what Team America is all about. Because I feel like us Americans are maybe a little underrated sometimes on that side of the pond with that type of racing. So to go out there and show everyone what we can do is pretty cool.
Sure.
Go ahead,
Rob.
AJ.
No, yeah, I agree. I was just saying, yeah, for sure. I think that between us three, going over there and doing as well as we did and having success over there, it's really shown that America has a lot of really good drivers, and especially we have a lot of really good young drivers. I don't really consider myself that young anymore, but there's definitely a bunch of people that are coming up that are fast. So it makes me feel old, but that's okay. Yeah, I think that, we've shown that we've got a lot of talent over here. And I think that, there's a lot of really good drivers, and it shows everybody that, we've got it going on over here. So I think that with kind of the example that us three have set, that I think there's only going to be more and more Americans that are interested in Dakar and that want to come over and kind of, do the same thing.
Yeah, Seth, you look like you had something to say there.
No, I was just laughing at AJ saying that he's almost 30 years old. But yeah, no, it's cool to see all the it's cool to see all the young guns come up, and honestly, I've watched it grow up in a weird age gap, I would say, for the past X amount of years, to where there's nobody really around my age, but there's younger and older. So it's been cool to see both sides really evolve and grow and come over to the other side of the pond and represent Team USA.
Well, and I think, the USA in international motorsports has always had this bunch of cowboys reputation, and I am, for one, am proud of it. It's like, you know what? Yeah, we are. That's who we are. We're hard. We get out there and throw it. We may do it. We may not do it. When I was road racing, it's like I may not do it the way that everybody else does it. And primarily that was because I didn't have any talent. I was just dumb. But but I didn't do it the way everybody else did it. But then I was, I was mostly in Canada, and the French Canadians would call me, dumb American. So, or crazy. But I'm sure you guys get some of that, but you're also like backing it up. I mean, you guys are the gunslingers. Amen.
Team America.
Yes. I got my USA Evil Knievel helmet right there.
Right.
Perfect.
So, but no, anyways, you guys, what I was saying is you guys are backing it up. I mean, you may be gunslingers, and it may not be the way that they're used to, but man, you're making hay, right? So
Yeah, the results don't lie. Team America.
yeah. So, and so on with that. Now I want to jump into, before we run out of time, for Mitchell Guthrie gets to where he's going. And if you watched any of the rebroadcasts, you would know what I was referring to right there. And please, if you guys have any pull, please have them find a new announcer for the SSV class. That was like, other than you guys not get I want to jump away from Dakar. I really do. But as far as Dakar goes and the coverage, other than you guys not getting fair coverage because you're Americans, and I'm not going to go there, Cole. It's okay. I don't want to apologize again.
I don't care. Let it rip.
we really felt in watching it every day that you guys didn't get the respect and the coverage. Like, why were they not covering Mitch winning the stage and you guys second and third, or third and fourth, or AJ leading the race and how close you guys were and all that? Why did you guys get like 16 seconds of each? and somebody running in 14th place gets like a minute. You know, to me, that's not the story. So that's where I got in trouble last time with flapping my jaws about that. So I'm going to leave it at that. But you guys have forced them and forced their hand to cover you and give you attention. And I think that's fucking awesome. Pardon my language. Cole, you may have to beep that.
You know, and I think that I think it's fair to say that a lot of people get a bad idea of what Dakar is. It's like you guys are talking about being in the rain, and your stages could be anywhere from 5 to 10 hours long. And it's like all they see is, you know, AJ go over 3 dunes and they're like, yep, he won the stage. And I was like, oh, that was easy. It's like, no, that's not what it is. You know, you can't have live camera footage the whole time, but it's unbelievable how easy they make Dakar look.
Yeah,
that's
go ahead, bro.
All right. Well, yeah, I was just gonna say, it kind of reminds me of like King of the Hammers. That's one of the races I always tell people is like you have to go there and see it, and then you realize like how hard some of those trails are. And it's the same thing with Dakar. Like, as much coverage and stuff you get, even though they don't give us enough, like it doesn't put it into perspective kind of what we go through unless you're either driving the race or you're there kind of following along and seeing it in real time. Kind of like Sonora Rally. Even Sonora really isn't too tough, but like my dad went there and that was the first time he got to attend a rally raid race, and he's like, man, now I really see. And I remember it was the same for Seth's dad, MAddOG, when he went with us to Spain. And he's like, oh, now I see why you guys aren't calling and texting us all the time. You guys are pretty busy. So yeah, it's just tough unless you're really there, like on the ground seeing stuff. It's hard to put it on the camera. But at the same time, yeah, give us Americans more coverage.
Hoorah.
Yeah.
All right, AJ's turn.
Yeah, I'm going to say where this is your chance to like hit the coverage, hit the announcer, whatever you want. Since
Yeah, go ahead, Seth. I agree with what Mitch just said, man. And I agree with what you're saying. You know, we got to try to force their hand a little bit. And I think, again, it's coming along. What'd you say?
Oh, did I lose you? I said I got a question for the announcer here.
Okay, go. Let AJ finish first. Go ahead.
No, that was about it. Yeah, so I mean, I feel like we're forcing their hand a little bit, and yeah, I mean, maybe a couple more wins and more stage wins, and you know, like maybe if all 3 of us podium next year, then for the next couple of years, then they'll have to keep on saying more, but it's coming around, I think so.
And you guys will all be in 2 or 3 years. You'll all be in T1s anyways, right?
It depends on who retires, man. There's not a lot of drives out there.
That'd be rad. I'm just gonna say.
Those old guys just don't stop. They're like 60 years old or something, still racing Dakar. It's crazy.
That's pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly. So all right.
One more thing really quick. One crazy stat, since you're just saying that, is Stefan Petterhansel. I don't have it off the top of my head, but he's won it like, I don't know, 18 times or something. So we were talking about it one day. I'm like, okay, you know, Seth, how old are you? He's like 20. So, okay, Seth, you have to win it every year until you're like 38 years old to be able to tie him up. So it's crazy. Those old dudes, you know, they're still quick for sure. They still got it.
Wow.
That's nuts. Well, and you know, but a lot of that has got to be like you guys said, you guys get more competitive every year because you get more into the program, right? Like road books and navigators and virtual waypoints and stuff like that. As you get more accustomed to it, you get smoother at it, which makes you faster, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's that type of racing. The first, like, you cannot just get into it and just absolutely kill it and figure everything out the first year you do it. But like I think for all of us, we've gotten comfortable with like our co-dogs, how the racing works and everything. So we're lucky. I think we've talked about this before, or said it before, but we're super lucky that we've had the opportunity to like mess up plenty of times. Because you can't just get into it and kill it the first year. So you need those couple learning years to figure out how everything works and learn it. And then, I think we're all at the point now where we're super competitive and comfortable and actually know what we're doing. Although we haven't raced it 20 times like some of these other guys. So we still have a lot to learn, but
Right.
4 years in, I think we're all super comfortable and competitive now.
Nice. All right, Seth, what was the question? Sorry.
Oh, it was or I guess it wasn't a question, but I think some of the reason why Americans haven't gotten the most the most coverage is I think we've had some people represent us in a little bit of a different way, I would say. It kind of put a stigma on all of us. So it kind of was hard for, I think, all three of us to show up and try to change the stigma of who we actually are, because we've had some characters go over there before and put some heat on the American flag. So I think it was even more of a rougher time of trying to make friends in the bivouac for all them to try and figure out who we really were, at not necessarily the American stigma. So yeah, figured I'd throw that out there. That might still be another reason why that the coverage isn't the greatest.
Yeah, and since this won't be up on video for a while, for those of you listening, everybody was nodding their head there. So I think everybody agrees with that statement. And as far as Dakar and Rally Raid, man, we're really proud of you guys as a country, and thank you, and keep killing it. And we're gonna jump to the Scramble series. So, man, it's crazy. Like I did my first scramble last year, which was the inaugural sand scramble in Glamis, which was actually won by Junior, and that was pretty rad. I'm not gonna lie. And my reel of him coming across the finish jump with Jim Beaver in the background going, winner, winner, Mitch Guthrie Jr. in his iconic voice, has one of my biggest amounts of views. So thanks for that. But anyways, moving into the Scramble series, not just the sand scramble, because we've done 2 of them now, of the sand scrambles. And did you race the sand scramble last year, AJ?
No, I did not. My first scramble was Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you guys committed to most of the scramble races this year? Or?
I think the target was maybe 4. So we've done Texas, Jersey. Seth and I are going up to Alaska this weekend, and then Glamis. Then, if we can go to a couple other ones, that'd be awesome. But we've got such a big schedule with all the rally stuff and just everything going on that we'll see what we can do. But I think the target's 3 or 4.
And what's your target this year for the scrambles, Mitchie?
Kind of same as these guys. I'm missing out on Alaska. I'm gonna build a new car and try and get something a little more competitive. But other than that, I think the only one we have left for the year after Alaska is Glamis in December. So overall, yeah, I try to kind of same as AJ said. Things are definitely busy, but the Scramble series is really fun. And originally, like when I won Glamis, it wasn't as big. Well, Glamis was huge. That the last couple of years it's been big, but in the beginning it was kind of more of like a fun, like for fun type of race,
right?
Where you kind of just arrive and drive and do what you can, but it's definitely changed in the last year and it's become super competitive. So there's a ton of fast guys with really good cars. So that's exciting for me personally because it's cool when you show up to the races. It's it's like every one of them is a big race. And what's also cool is we're all on different terrains every time. So you're always kind of learning and everyone's going through the same thing. You come with your car and you got to try and figure out how to make it quick in a very short amount of time. So that's what makes it a fun series. And yeah, definitely try to hit as many of them as I can this year and going into next year too.
Yeah, and I've heard talk that there's going to be an expansion of the Scramble series next year. So we're not releasing any news or anything. Everybody slow down. I don't know anything more than anybody else does. I just heard there was going to be more. So which would be exciting. So, well, what happened to Seth?
Yeah,
He's
had
out.
such big news, he had to bail.
Yeah, you got so excited.
His phone died or
For
something.
sure.
No, so yeah, man, just we didn't get to cover near what I wanted to cover in this for sure. I wanted to get into American desert racing and what are you doing? I know AJ, I was reading in your history that you pretty much cut your teeth in the right seat of your dad's truck in Baja, yeah?
Yeah, so I started out. I rode in the trophy truck with him for like basically a full season down in Baja and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I learned. And then one day he would like let me drive the pre-runner and stuff like that. And then one day it was on. So I started out like the first time I ever raced anything was a trophy truck, and it was gnarly. It was a handful, and I didn't really know how to drive yet, so it was a lot. But yeah, that's kind of where I learned everything. And then yeah, raced spec trucks down there for 2 seasons. So
Nice.
that's where I picked everything up, was down in Baja.
Now, how do you have any plans for American desert racing? Because I think Mitchie, you're probably hitting Vegas to Reno, yeah.
Yeah, as long as it happens. Yeah,
Right.
everything's super weird right now. So I'm hoping we get through this year and everything kind of figures itself out, because right now it kind of sucks. You can't plan stuff. Best in the Desert's a little bit of a mess, and um, everyone's racing in different races. There's mid 400 score, Best in the Desert, and plenty of other one-off races. So it's super weird right now, and including different classes with the Pro R. So yeah, it's a little crazy. But I think this is about the worst it will be. So I'm hoping by next year things kind of start getting figured out, and we're all back to racing against each other somehow, and
Yeah.
at the same races as well.
Yeah, that'd be rad. And are you guys up, AJ or Seth? Are you guys up for Mint 400 or best Vegas to Reno's next, I guess. Yeah, Cole.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we raced the Mint, and Seth and I both raced in Can-Ams. And then yeah, we're scheduled to do Vegas to Reno if it goes. So yeah, we'll be there.
Nice. That's gonna be, and I would imagine you guys will probably be in like a pro turbo class, and Junior, you'll probably be in an unlimited UTV unlimited or something.
Yes, I actually just sold my Pro R that I've been racing, and Lone Stars actually right now they're working on building me a new car, so we're kind of trying to get a little upgrade, build a new really cool car, put a ton of cool ideas into it. We'll see how it ends up. So right now we're looking at Vegas to Reno should be done and race it there.
Cool. And I think we had your fellow Red Bull athlete teammate Mia was on last week, and she's racing, I think, Vegas to Reno in the naturally aspirated class. So
Nice.
that's going to be pretty rad. I'm probably going to be up all night unless I end up I'm off that weekend, so if somebody needs a spare hand,
Yeah, you should just plan on pitting.
yeah.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, I did. I was blessed enough to do one, and I think Last year, Mitchie, you broke right before the finish, right?
Last year,
Was
no,
that
I finished last year. I just had a little issue in the beginning, got a flat, and that was our one problem. But
but was that
maybe,
year
oh
before
yeah,
you lost the
I think it
headlights?
was, yeah, I had a miscalculation there. We were leading the race with like 20 miles to go or something, and there's a giant boulder in the middle of the road, and I thought I could straddle it, but definitely couldn't, and it jolted the car so bad when I hit it that it knocked the switch pros loose, which shut down all my lights. So we finished the race on the dark with like our jump starter pack has a battery on it, so the jump starter battery pack has a flashlight on it, so we use that as our headlights. So yeah, definitely a rough one. I think
Uh,
everyone's had that Vegas to Reno like that at some point, probably.
Yeah.
yeah, I experienced both the year I was able to help out um, on the Toyo Tires Japan team, and we had, we ran a couple of the stock, well, they call them stock, anyways, stock UTV, and one guy won and one guy broke trying to pass the guy that won at like 4.3 miles from the finish or something. It was, yeah, it was. I've fueled both cars at, what was it, Cole? Like 5 pits, 6 pits?
Yeah, it was at least 6 pits you did.
Yeah. So I was trying to, like, I was feeling both cars and trying to keep them. They were running so close together. It was so exciting. I was like, this is so crazy. And then right at the finish, it's like, the thrill of victory. Oh, the cars broke for good 4.3 miles from the finish. The agony of defeat. I'm like, that's it. I'm done desert racing. I've got it all.
Oh man.
But now I want to get back and see some again. Cole keeps trying to get me into the right seat of like class 11, and I'm like, I don't know. Have you seen?
Ooh.
Yeah, have you seen how much gray hair I have? I'm not sure I could live through it. So
Call that experience. You got lots of it, so just deal with it.
Lauren, you said you fueled 6 times at last year's or 2 years ago. You're definitely hired if you could do that.
yeah, two cars at like 5 pits or 6 pits, I think. So
That's a busy day.
with stock cans and stock fuel caps and stock fuel tanks. So if I said if I ever had to do that again, um, I have some ideas that will make fueling them much more, let's say, time efficient. Um, and they've now been tested. Cole Bike Chiefs for a D38 motorcycle racer, and he cut what 45 seconds off your pits.
It was a lot. Just don't tell the AMA.
It's not like it's illegal. It doesn't say it's illegal.
Rob Namella.
It hey, there's nothing that says it's illegal. So, when you don't have dry brakes and quick fills and air charge tanks and all that, you have to find ways to be efficient. So, and I know how I do it now. I carried more 6-gallon cans of race fuel in and out of the bed of a pickup that night than I have in my entire life.
You're hired.
Yeah, you had it the absolute worst it could be. So it's only up from here now.
Yeah, I hope so. So, well, guys, I know we're running long on time. I really appreciate the time that you guys took. I want to go through and make sure that we get all your sponsors. So, AJ, hit us.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me on. Big shout out, obviously, to Red Bull, Can-Am, KMC Wheels, Motul Oils, Sparco, all the companies that, make this happen for me, Sandcraft. So yeah, thank you guys. And hopefully we do good here in Alaska. We'll see how it goes.
And your dad. Thank your dad.
Yeah, and my dad. Thanks, Dad.
So you gotta make sure. I know Seth's going to. So
No, I see him every single day for several hours a day, so he knows.
that's awesome. You're like a neighbor to me. You're just a few hours away.
Oh, really? Yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm over here on like the west side of Phoenix. So,
yeah. I'm in Havasu. So
oh, okay, nice.
yeah. So stay right there, Seth. Your turn.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It's hopefully we get to do it again. I know we did one before, and I've had a lot of fun doing them. But yeah, I mean, obviously Red Bull, Can-Am, BFG, KMC, Sparco, Motul, the whole South Racing crew, J1 Brakes, and yeah, everybody else that helps out. My dad and my mom. Shout out to them for birthing me. Did a great job there. But yeah, thanks everybody.
A special shout out to Amy Q because I just love her to death. And a special shout out to Miss Stephanie Guthrie because today is her birthday. Although by the time this gets produced, it'll be past her birthday, but so she knows we're thinking of her. Junior's on his way to have dinner with her right now. And so over to you, Mitchie.
Yeah, well, first off, shout out Steph Guthrie. My mom, happy birthday. My dad, my whole family, my newly fiance.
Oh,
That's how you get points.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then whoever, hopefully I don't forget anyone, but Polaris, Red Bull, of course, BFG tires, KMC wheels, 4-wheel parts, Rigid Industries, Sparco, and Guthrie Racing. I've just recently started prepping cars and stuff, so if anyone needs their car prep, hit me up.
Nice plug. That's good.
For sure.
Thank
Well,
you.
that's what we're here for, man. Yeah, I would, on what Seth said, I would love to have you guys all on again and just like just let you guys slug it out because this has been fun, but I feel like it could have been a lot more fun if I'd have just shut up.
I think we could all go all day. So yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
We could do a few more for sure.
Yeah.
That'd be rad. So yeah, no, we appreciate you guys. I know you guys are busy. I know how busy you are. I want to thank you all for being on along for the ride. And dudes, parting statements. Mitchie.
Departing statements now. All right. Well, thank you guys for having me on once again. It's been fun. Like we said, I think we got to do this again because I think we could go all day. We have plenty of stories and stuff. So thanks for everyone watching. It's good to be a part of this, and good luck to the boys in Alaska. I believe it's this weekend. Someone better win.
Oh,
Over to you, Seth.
yeah. Again, thanks for having me. For sure, gotta do it again. Lauren, never lose those glasses. Those are my favorite things ever. I hope you have 500 pairs of them. But yeah,
Got a whole box.
wow, more talk. Perfect. Well then, yeah, that concludes my statement. Thank you.
AJ.
Yeah. Yeah, really. This was my first time doing this with you guys. So I had a lot of fun. Thanks for having me. And let's definitely we'll run it back soon. And yeah, whenever you guys want, just let me know. I love sitting here talking to these guys, talking to you guys, and swapping stories and stuff like that. So it's a good time. So let me know whenever. And thank you guys again.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I just want to obviously thank all you guys. And you know what? Thank you guys for just being real and being cool. When I was out in Jersey, man, I mean, I didn't know what to expect out there. I got out there and it was a super cool race course and I had a lot of work to do, but it was so rad to see you guys, like, even when you're going out or you're going to do media stuff, you guys are always waving, always shouting at me. That kind of stuff just keeps me jacked up, keeps me, when you do what I do at those events, you're often first one in, last one out, and you're eating crackers and cheese in the hotel room for dinner at midnight. So thanks for sharing your pizza with me that night too. And
Yeah.
it was super cool to have everybody staying in the hotel. That was really cool too.
Yeah, there were some good times for sure.
Yeah. So, but we definitely want to get you all back. AJ, I'd love to have you back and get your backstory. I've
Yeah,
had
definitely.
the boys on and got their backstory. So, Cole, what do you got?
Nope. Thank you for being badass Americans, and thank you all for your time.
Yeah, we appreciate it greatly. Thanks for repping us in a good light internationally. Huge respect.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right, keep slaying. Seth, AJ, good luck at the solstice. Make sure, Seth, make sure you pack your eye mask. I know you need like 18 hours of sleep a day. And
Whoa! 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 All right, I packed it.
because you're going to have about 22 and a half hours of light in Anchorage. So,
Yeah. That's rough.
that's the area that I grew up in. So, like,
I'm sorry.
I was hoping I'd get back up there because I'm like, it'd be kind of a homecoming, but I guess with where the venue is and stuff, they don't need the extra hands this year. So, but hopefully next year they'll go bigger and better and even greater. I've been in talk with Butts up there. Shout out the General Dave Butts, by the way. I don't think he listens, but he does a good job. He killed himself on that course in Jersey, losing 2.5 days to rain. And I don't think anybody complained about the course. You guys were all like, "Oh man, it's so much fun." So,
Yep.
shout out Dave Butts, dude. Don't kill yourself in Alaska just because you got 23 hours of daylight doesn't mean you got to work them all. You guys, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Have a great night. And we'll all catch up super soon.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Thank
Thanks,
you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Same to you.
Thank you.
Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, the USA Red Bull Junior team on Along for the Ride all together. They love each other like brothers and they hate each other like brothers. What a good night for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Red Bull Offroad Junior Team USA.
Perfect.
Yeah, those guys, just rad guys. Love them to death and so proud of what they're doing locally and internationally. Man, that was a goodie.
Yeah, what a fun dynamic of those guys. I hope they get to stay teammates for the next 60 years.
Oh, dude, that'd be so rad. It'd be so great. Speaking of great, want to thank our great partners, Cole, the Premix Podcast. Find them on Instagram at the Premix Podcast. That's at ThePremixPodcast. Send them a message. Get him hooked up to shoot your rig, your desert racing rig, or MC your off-road event. Of course, Kelsey Morrell Film on Instagram at Kelsey Morrell Film for all your video production needs. Where would we be without Kicker Performance Audio? Our good friends, find them at kicker.com for all your 12-volt, marine, motorcycle, and personal audio needs. Kicker.com or Instagram at Kicker Audio. Of course, Bomber Floating Eyewear, Bomber Safety Eyewear, bombereyewear.com. Thank you, Tommy and the gang. And, you guys have really just helped us out so much. And it's crazy that guys like, Seth Quintero, AJ Jones, and Mitch Guthrie are like, don't ever lose those glasses. Like, Bomber Eyewear has become a part of the Mad Dog, and I'm proud of it. Thank you. Check them out, bombereyewear.com. And of course, our producer, Cole, I could not do this without you. We take having fun seriously.
Couldn't do it without you either. My only question would have been like, what's it like to race a car? So thank you for being such a good host.
If you like what you hear, be sure and
like, rate, review, and subscribe on your favorite streaming platform.
yes, sir. I think with that, we'll get this one in the can.
Works for me.
MAddOG out.